What's up, gang? So I was gonna do a video on how to tame your first dragon, but I feel like there's a bunch of them out there and most people know how to do that. And if you guys want that video, you just let me know and I will make one. Or if there's something else that you guys want, you just hit me up in the comments below or hit me up on stream Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm always streaming Citadel right now, so you can catch me there. But I decided to go a different route with our first video and only video for this week, but first video in general for Citadel. We're gonna do what spells should you be using for PvE. Now, keep in mind a couple things. First of all, I'm not the end all to the game. This is just what worked for me and what I've learned from playing and talking with other people who've played a lot more than me. I mean, if something else works better for you, then by all means use it. There's ways that all spells can be used in certain scenarios in this game. Like that, you can, if you like a certain spell, you can use that spell. Like, don't feel afraid to use a spell like I need to min-max this game. Like, unless you're in PvP, there's not gonna be a you need to be using this, I don't feel like. And that's the other thing. These spells are gonna be for PvE, like if you're grinding or on a PvE server, not for fighting another group of people. Alright? The other thing to keep in mind is I created a custom game for this, so all my gear is gonna be really good. I'm mastery level 14 right now. I didn't double check to see what I set my damage modifiers. They could be ridiculous. Maybe I one-shot stuff, but you'll get the general idea of what spells that I personally think are really good and what I use on them to make them better than just the base version. Also what weapon types I use. So anyways, let's just get right into the video. Here we are. We are in our custom server. We didn't dye the gear, but it's looking pretty good, huh? Alright, so as you can see, my first weapon is a wand. Now, wands are the weakest weapon in the game, so why would he use a wand? Well, I'll tell you why I use a wand. This is courtesy of someone who's been in my chat, Impactful Gallivant. Huge shout out to him for showing me this. If you look at this wand, the cooldown reduction is at 42. Now, I don't have another weapon on me to show you the difference. I should probably do that. Alright. So, now we do have the item to show you the difference. Alright, so if I have this staff, and then let's unequip everything else and equip this wand. So, Dark Bolt, which is going to be our first main PvE spell. As you can see, this is how fast I cast it. Now, what happens when I switch to the wand? You can see that it's casting faster, much faster, because of the cooldown reduction. That is why we use the wand over the staff. I got lucky with this staff with like 18 cooldown reduction, but the wand can have up to 50 cooldown reduction, which is pretty crazy. So you can roll for a better weapon, but you get the idea. Alright, so first weapon is a wand. with Dark Bolt. Let me put these back on. Alright. Dark Bolt is a dark essence. Large blah 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 blah. Is a dark essence. As you can see, it throws a meatball. I call it a meatball. It looks like a glob of meat, honestly, with spikes or bones. That's what it looks like to me, anyways. It bounces around, and anything it hits, it deals the damage, and then applies a sort of debuff, where if the enemy dies before that debuff disappears, I'm not sure how long it lasts. It's a few seconds. Probably like 5 to 10 seconds, somewhere in that range. They explode and deal more damage to everything around it. I will show you. Alright, we're at the enemy camp. Now watch as these explode. See how it exploded and killed the orc? See the explosion? And it just bounces around. And just chain reaction after chain reaction. It's one of the strongest PvE spells. You can just spam it, and as you can see, it does all the damages. You want to put leech on it. So generally what I do is, unless you're going into like a crypt, you want to run 5 bones. If you're going into a crypt and you want the best of the best, maybe you run unicorn blood or phoenix eggs for more leech, but 5 bones is enough. It'll make you way more tanky. Leech on your PvE damage abilities is clutch. There's nothing stopping you from healing with leech in this game, like most other RPGs and stuff. So it makes leech really strong. Maybe that changes later on, but as of right now, there's no enemy that's going to stop you from healing, and leech is going to make you 5 times more tanky than you normally are, because you're just going to out-heal damage. Now, the second ability I use on my first weapon, the wand, is Blink, and this is kind of your oh shit moment ability. It gets you out of situations, like if I was getting hit right here and I didn't have time to heal, I blink over here, boom, I'm out of the fight. You can even, if it's like a dire situation, like let's say I'm fighting, I don't know, a pirate right here, he starts messing me up, I can blink up in the air and then like fly away. It's really clutch for if you misjudge a situation when you're PvEing. The second weapon I use is a melee weapon, and this is going to be your AoE weapon. So both of these damage abilities I put leech on as well. Same concept. Bones, unless you're fighting like a crypt, and then do something stronger. The first ability is Concentrated Storm. It costs a Storm Essence, and basically you just throw it down, and it just ticks enemies. You've probably seen this in other videos. It's been one of the strongest abilities in the game for a while. It doesn't seem that they're going to change that. But as you can see, I'll throw it on this elk. It zaps everything. The thing about it though is it ticks. So let me get an enemy camp to show you. Show you what I mean. We'll fly over here. When you're flying, if you cast the ability, it drops it below you, so it's like down there. You can't cast it in midair. That's something to keep in mind. And if you're gonna be fighting anything that's flying, these abilities that I'm telling you right now are not gonna be what you want to use. I would probably use any beam ability to fight anything in the air. Any of the beam abilities. Just throw some leech on it. But I don't recommend fighting in the air in general. But alright, so if I was to fight this guy, I could run up to him. I throw down the Concentrated Storm, and as you can see, it ticks.
and it'll just keep doing that. I can throw down another one, they'll both tick them if they're next to each other. Let's see. So, as you can see, that's constant leech. It's gonna keep healing me. Now, the second ability is Blizzard. Same concept. Throw down the AoE. It just ticks over time. Both of those combined with AoE Leech is gonna heal quite a bit on you. I will show you an example. If I fly right into the middle of this camp and I just toss them down, you can see how much it's healing me. I don't even have to use Dark Bolt here. I just heal off the AoEs and then it kills them. Keep in mind I have like souped up gear, but the concept is still the same. Blizzard, same as Concentrated Storm. When you're up in the air, it drops it below you. So keep that in mind. You're not going to cast that in midair. Alright, so that's that weapon. Third weapon, I use another melee weapon. This is usually... I have haste on here, which is the increased speed. That ability doesn't really matter. Normally when I'm playing, unless I know I'm going to be fighting something, that's going to be extract for me. This is my farming tool. I generally, when I'm PvEing, I run around with extract and farm with this tool. The main reason I'm showing you this weapon, though, is the second ability there. It is Bloodlust. It is one fiery essence to make. You can put... I normally put spell energy on that so that it lasts longer, because nothing else is going to really buff this ability. This Bloodlust is the strongest buff in the game, I feel like. When you cast it, you get increased health. You can see my max health went up, as well as increased damage. 20% increased damage, 40% increased health for 3 minutes. That's gonna just buff your leech. It's gonna obviously buff your damage, and it gives you more health to work with when you're fighting. It's very clutch. I use it before I fight every camp if it's not up already. You can even use it when you're farming with extract, which is why I run it on my extract weapon, because it'll make you farm faster. Very important. Now the fourth weapon is kind of a flex whatever you want weapon. There's no right or wrong here in my eyes. I use it as my healing slash taming slash whatever weapon. Generally I have grace on this to heal my tames, as well as I use it for pacify to tame creatures. Nothing special there. Grace can only be used from gauntlets and wands, and it is the best heal in the game. So if you want to run a heal for your tames and stuff, this is the one to run. One light essence on a wand or gauntlets. And the last thing I'll give you before we end this video, because I see a lot of people ask this. Now, like I said before at the start of this video, there is no right or wrong answer to what I'm about to tell you. This isn't like the end all. This is just what I think. Now, where do you put your attribute points? Well, mine are messed up right now because I'm in this custom server, but I'll give you a general idea. The reason why I took all my clothes off was not to show you my sexy body on the game, but it was to show you what I do to allocate my points. What I do is I take off all my stat bonuses, so like my gear, my weapons, trinket, whatever, and then I look at my raw stats. What I try to do, and maybe I change this later, is get this to 300 carry capacity so I can carry the heavier end game gear. Like you can see 21 pounds, 9 pounds, 20 pounds, 26 pounds, 26 pounds, 13 pounds, like that all adds up. And then you got all these potions. So 300 carry capacity I feel like is a must. I then go for around 900 health. So you want to get that to 900 before putting on gear. It should be at 900. I feel like that's a good number to be at least. You could take it a little higher if you wanted to. The rest I put all into damage. I don't put any into mana. And the reason being is there's enough stats of mana regen and like stats on gear for mana in general. So that you don't, like, for instance, with all this gear on, that I have 1400 mana. That's without a weapon. And then like you put on the Dark Flight, more mana. Like I don't need more mana than that. And then you have pots if you start to run low. Like you're fine without the mana. And that about sums up the video. I appreciate everyone who showed up. Now, if you want something specific done, a guide on how to do this or how to do that, or where do you farm this or where do you farm that, or what's the best way to get this or what's the best way to get that, what have you, you just let me know in the comments, because I'm open to making any videos that you guys want. There's not a lot on Citadel right now, and I feel like I don't know what the community wants in general. So if there's anything that you've tried to look up and you can't find and you're having trouble with, you just let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can make a video for you on the best way to gather this or the best way to fight that, or you get the idea. If you like the video, like and subscribe. It helps me out. I know every YouTuber says it. It's a broken record, but it really does help me out. If you're feeling really frisky, you can hit the notification bell and you'll get notified when I put up another video. I'm doing one a week on Citadel, and we're, like I said in the beginning of the video, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern is when I'm streaming on Twitch. I will leave the link in the description, as well as a link to my socials if you want to stay updated on everything that I'm doing. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Later, cans!